Recently, I've been thinking a lot about how hair is really not just hair. It is so much deeper than people think. Or maybe people know it's that deep and we're just all in denial. I would say going on my natural hair journey, accidental natural hair journey in 2023 really made me reflect inward and think about what my appearance, specifically my hair, and the way that I comply to societal standards, what that says about me and how I feel about myself. Do I feel like I need straight hair, long straight hair, to be regarded as beautiful and therefore reap the benefits of being regarded as beautiful in our society? You know, the way that we look definitely does have power over us. Being digestible, assimilating to Western culture has its perks. People still don't view people who are other, so people who are outside of whiteness, as a human being and valid, and people with their own lives and their own stories, with many factors that affect them, that they are as complex as they are. And it's not just about, oh, they're lazy, or they're this and they're that. It's like there's just so many things that can affect someone and affect their outcome. It's not just about how much someone deserves something. There are so many factors that contribute to our outward success, or at least success as is defined in our society. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's just about hair. But it really is that deep. It really is that deep. The thesis of today's video is a woman who cuts her hair is ready to change her life. And I'm saying it is a fact. Obviously, it's not a fact, it's an opinion. So, when a woman cuts her hair off, she is detaching from social norms and standards. So, the societal standard is that women have long hair. Beautiful women who receive perks for their beauty have long hair. That is the societal standard and norm. And by shaving all of your hair off, it is literally a visual representation of you rejecting that notion. So you are basically showing the world outwardly with your appearance that I am choosing to reject that standard. It's a visual representation of your defiance. So yeah, I felt like, well, when I went on my journey, actually, my hair was super duper damaged. And so I just thought I need to start all over. And I was scared to lose all my hair because my hair was something that I was always complimented on. In me shaving my hair off, I actually saw that, like, wow, it's not hair that makes me beautiful. And also, being beautiful is not everything, but it's definitely not my hair that makes me beautiful. And I don't need to comply. I don't need to meet these standards. So shaving all of your hair off basically shows people that you don't care what people think. Like, you are showing people with your body, it's a visual representation. You are showing people visually, outwardly, that I reject your societal standard for me. What you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? People don't like people who rebel, and therefore you can experience ostracization. There we go. Ostracization. When you don't care what people think, it means that you are an open-minded person. It means that you are able to think for yourself, and it means that you don't just believe everything that people tell you. And it takes a certain kind of person to be like that. People who are attracted to you in your short hair phase actually think similarly to you. You attract people who are also a little bit open-minded because they can recognize that, oh damn, okay, she cut her hair off, she has a little bit of spunk, okay, she can think a little bit for herself, she's not like other people. That brings interest from people who have similar worldviews and perspectives to you. A person who has done some reflection will actually understand that, yes, shaving all your hair off is actually super cool. And yeah, thinking for yourself is really attractive. It shows that you are actually kind of smart because you're able to think for yourself. You can come up with your own theories. You don't just accept what you're told and accept it as fact. Like, do you question things? I found that the smartest people question things. It is a repellent for people who are not open-minded. And, you know, I think if someone has too many harmful ideas, then perhaps it is good. Hello. I don't know. I guess maybe it is good for my spirit that if someone who is not kind and someone who is super judgmental is repelled by me, then I don't know. Maybe it is better that they just stay away. You know, being open minded means that you accept people for who they are. It means that you accept whatever they come with in their story, and you don't just look at someone at face value and already create a narrative about who that person is. So, cutting my hair was also an amazing conversation starter. This case was a lot more common for people who, let's say, they are not, they're not like super radical people. Like they're nice, they grew up respectful, they grew up within the system, they probably follow the script, but they're like open enough, like kind enough people that they'll just hear you out or want to have a conversation because their goal is understanding. You know, that they don't have to necessarily agree with your ideas, but they are just like, yeah, you know what? I want to understand your perspective and I respect it. And I honestly adore that so much because I think that's also how I conduct my life. That, like, I don't necessarily need to subscribe to your beliefs, but I would love to understand your perspective and just gain a little bit more information about it so that whenever I have a conversation with someone or I see some sort of propaganda about something in future, I can say, oh, well, I actually have a little bit of knowledge about that subject. And you know, I don't necessarily agree with this harmful rhetoric, and therefore not excluding or, you know, being biased towards a group of people just because of a harmful narrative that has been spread. Anyway, am I thinking about this a bit too deep? Because this is literally how deep it was for me. Attracting people with your short hair, so people who love the short hair, or repelling people, or just having people want to talk to you about it. I feel like it kind of demonstrates the varying levels of open-mindedness and curiosity that people have. The way that I define openness is your desire to grow by broadening your perspective. So again, when I have conversations with people who especially do not engage with the norm, then I'm like, oh, okay, well, this person is super open-minded, that they want to learn, they have a desire to grow and be better as a person. Yeah. Open-mindedness. The natural hair movement was, and always will be extremely important because the natural hair movement is kind of a way for Black women to help society become more open-minded about their hair. It's insane that there is so much judgment about Black women's hair, but there really is. And, you know, I didn't really used to believe it until I started my own journey. And it's honestly insane just the reception that I've gotten since changing my hair. It hasn't all been bad. It's honestly mostly been positive. So I think it's also a movement that helps Black women be open-minded to their own hair. And then the rest of society who discriminates against texture, also to help them become more open-minded about hair and texture as well. I think like going out in the world and having my short hair was kind of a way to be a representation for natural hair because I'm in different spaces. I am so fortunate that I get to be in really, really different spaces with different people and different communities because I have multiple interests. And I rock up with my natural hair. And, you know, whenever I'm there, whenever I have a positive interaction with someone, you know, I do go home and I hope that that positive interaction maybe changed some people's minds about, you know, what it means for a person to have natural hair or to be Black and things like that. That whatever you've been taught about those kinds of people is wrong. That they're literally people just like you and me and they just look different. That's all. And also that they are accepting their individuality and their autonomy over their image. And I think that is an important right to have. There is value in uniform and the way that you present yourself. But I think that also veers into respectability politics, which I think is also something that's really harmful and which is tied into our looks, which is tied into receiving benefits for complying and meeting certain societal standards. Woo! Are y'all still with me? And honestly, if anyone is wanting to go on a natural hair journey, start off with really short hair, really, really short hair. And I would also suggest that you cut it yourself. Like, it is super duper liberating to be the one to hold the scissors and cut it. Yes, of course, you can get it cut. I think it kind of detaches you from that act. I think cutting it, doing that action actually makes it so much more symbolic. Like, yes, I am shaving my hair off. I'm consciously making this decision. I can't blame anyone. It's me who's not going to have hair and potentially suffer the consequences of not having hair or not being regarded as beautiful in our society. I would also suggest that you have a raw growth process. So don't wear wigs, don't wear braiding hair. The reason being is I mean, again, do what you want, guys. Just do what you want. But in my own journey, I didn't do that. And it was really such a challenge because some days I did not look good. Some days I didn't know how to do my hair, what to do. It wasn't cooperating. I didn't know enough about my hair. But I would suggest having a raw growth process and actually seeing yourself through every single phase of your hair growth process. Like, it's super duper interesting. Firstly, just to see how you look, how creative you can be. Because, like, let's say your hair, you're not feeling it. It's like, okay, how can I make my hair complement my outfit, or vice versa? Can be a bit of a challenge to wake up in the morning and see, okay, I'm not really loving where my hair is at right now, but how can I make it work for me, and how can I make it look presentable enough so that I'm like, yeah, I'm proud of this hair that's growing out of my head. It's a process that requires so much reflection, and it's a process that requires you to be intentional. Yes, and I think that is truly the difficulty of the natural hair journey, is the reflection, is the intentionality, and yes, it takes time. I really feel like cutting my hair helped me grow as a person. I really think that I've experienced so many different growth points throughout different aspects of my life just because I cut all my hair off. And I know it sounds so dumb, it's such a trivial thing, but this journey really just opened my eyes to where I was in terms of like how I saw myself and what I believe about how I look, especially connected to my blackness and other points of shame that I've experienced in my life because of the way that I grew up and who I grew up around. There was quite a lot of shame around being black when you grow up in an area where you experience severe amounts of racism. You do start to grow a bit of a complex around things that are perceived as black or too black, and you start to think, oh my word, there's something wrong with those things. So actually looking at my hair, working with my hair, washing it, taking care of it, monitoring it, developing a routine for it, it truly forced me to confront all of those internalized racist issues that I had going on that were really affecting me and giving me an inferiority complex. I mean, look, I already struggle with confidence. Like, I don't need an inferiority complex on top of that. I had to accept that, yes, I have texture. After being relaxed for so long and now being like, yep, I have texture. My hair has texture. A lot of it, actually. I had to accept and eventually love this aspect of my blackness. I'm black. Get used to it, girl. And in fact, you need to love it. Being black is awesome. Just like being any race is awesome. Whatever race you are, that's great. But there's nothing wrong with being black. It's wonderful. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. Cutting all my hair off also helped me become more confident as a person and be like, yeah, I actually don't care. I need to show my face. I have stuff to do. Okay, I have stuff to do. So if my hair is a problem for you, that's a you thing. Okay, I'm just here at SARS to get my tax number. Okay, I don't know what my short hair has to do with you. I'm just getting my tax number. I have my missions. Okay, and that really just helped to build my confidence and also just not to be so self-absorbed. Yes, of course, how you present yourself is important, but like, is it? It is, but to a certain extent, and that's where I'll leave it. That's what I say about most things. These things are just so nuanced. I feel like people who lock their hair, oh my word, you guys are a different level of acceptance, especially when it comes to texture, because the lock is literally what African hair can do with zero manipulation. Of course, there's different kinds of locks, and some are neater than others, but there's people, like the free form, for instance, that's like zero manipulation, the way the hair grows out of the head. And I think that is awesome. I would love to talk to someone who has freeform locks and just to hear about their journey and why they chose that. And is it about open mindedness? Is it a spiritual thing? Did you just like how it looks? I'm very curious about it. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to my thoughts. If you were here, it's just a topic that's been on my heart, especially because I do see a lot of hair stuff online, and that's fine. Like, I think, we should all present ourselves how we want to. Like, I think it shouldn't even matter. But I think it's also important to ask yourself why you choose to dress the way you do or style your hair the way you do. You know what I mean? Is it really a choice that you made? Or is it a choice that you felt like you had to make? Are you seeking acceptance so much that you damage a part of yourself? Because relaxing your hair is literally causing intentional damage to your hair strands. So you damage a part of yourself for acceptance. Is that worth it for you? Why do you feel it's necessary for you? Or is it really just I'm looking at it way too hard and it's never that deep? Yeah, thank you so much for spending time with me today. I came back to the park. It's such a lovely day. It is cold. It's winter. But I'm just enjoying being outside and being in touch. Toodles.